tonight. And I hope you enjoy my talk. I have my papers. My husband said, take them away. Okay. They are valuable. So it's a personal story. It's a story about what is happening related to our human brain. How actually happiness is related to the human brain. Is it? And it's a story about the power of art therapy. If sometimes you need to recover from an event. So it's a personal story based on the stroke of my mother. And it was a life-devastating event for the whole family. But we took it from the perspective of being positive. And we found a solution. But what is happiness? And how does it look like to you? It's not a fleeting emotion. It's a state of being where your mind, body, and values are in harmony. It's deeply connected to your brain function. It involves some brain areas, neurochemicals, and psychological factors. Some of the parts in our brain are actually regulating mood, decision-making, positive emotions. The amygdala processes emotional responses, especially fear and pleasure. Hippocampus is involved in memory and emotional context. And there is a part in our brain that controls the brain reward system. So these are part of the brain areas involved in happiness. They interact with chemicals, so-called neurochemicals. And you will see them in our next slide. Apparently I'm fast. It's due to my Italian background and my training in Italy. The neurochemicals are dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. I think I'm over 20 seconds. And
it's playing.
They are perfect, super. So they are actually playing around with these areas in our brain. I actually never studied about brain. I'm a technology person, an engineer in semiconductor technology. But after the case with stroke, this provoked me to find answers about our brain. So these are the guys, brain chemicals. The dopamine is the reward chemical. It's released during pleasurable activities. Serotonin is the mood stabilizer. It reacts towards mood, appetite, sleep. The oxytocin is the love hormone. It's released and promoting bonding and trust, especially in social relationships. And endorphins, the painkillers, they're released when we do exercises, laughter, and certain types of stress relief. So these chemicals, they're entering into reaction with the brain areas I was talking before, and this interplay between both of them creates something called happiness. That's a diagram, which is of course very scientific, but it's the interconnection between these brain areas and the neurochemicals. So we tend to say very often and take for granted the phrase, I'm happy, or I'm not happy today. But what happens sometimes in our life when there is a life-devastating event like stroke? It causes unhappiness. And the diagram is different. And the feelings are not happiness, but are depression, apathy, impaired memory and depression, uncontrollable emotional outbursts. Can you regain happiness again after such events in your life? Yes, with art therapy. Art therapy is considered very effective in stroke recovery, especially because in its unique ability, it engages the brain holistically. It provokes emotional, cognitive, and motor functions complexly. So in these stories, here and photos, you can see the regaining of happiness in the life case of my mother, a stroke survivor. On this photo, you see Mom in May 2016 gathering herbs in Rhodope Mountain. In the middle, it's Mom after the stroke, and then it was Mom stepping into art therapy. Art therapy stimulates neuroplasticity. That's the mechanism of brain to relearn, to rebuild new neural pathways. It's a process called neuroplasticity, and due to engaging the brain with emotion, cognition, and controlling the emotions through art therapy, you can really start your recovery path. It's very specific. We have the art therapist of mom standing over there, Jenny. So you can ask questions after that in our networking. And some of the parts and photos you will see in these next presentations are actually part of the processes of art therapy that was held since 2018 with mom on her long journey of recovery. So, next thing that is provoking the art therapy is the motor skills. Okay, either I'm speaking very fast, or it's good to talk about neuroplasticity more and more. But okay, let's wait and see what's happening next. Neuroplasticity. Next thing that is provoked by art therapy in your mind can be the motor and cognition. Motor skills. By painting, drawing, or sculpting, you actually provoke the mind to regain control over arm or the hand. And these sometimes they're more efficient than the exercises, the physical exercises that every stroke survivor has to do. His mom doing sculpting in Orishad. The emotional expression, it's something to aphasia, it's the lack of possibility to speak. That's 25% of people with stroke, they have aphasia, so they can't talk. It's the non-verbal way to express yourself. Then you have the mood and motivation. You have creating or observing art, and it activates the brain reward system. Remember the dopamine, the chemical that's associated with pleasure? This can counteract post-stroke depression and emotional numbness. And that's a poster of one of the exhibitions. The therapy, the art therapy, reduces stress and builds resilience. Art therapy is very calming and meditative. So it helps in a way to build up your balance, emotional balance, and of course, recovery. And of course, individuals, we interact in social interaction. Group art, especially sessions, they promote social bonding, reducing feeling of isolation, and they help people to feel together. So the miracle of art therapy is rebuilding your life. It's especially for those that suffer trauma or illness or emotional distress. And these are pictures of mom enjoying the gardening at home, enjoying one of her exhibitions. And it's not about being good in art. It's about expression. It's about emotion and process. It's guided creativity with a therapeutic purpose, helping people to reconnect with themselves. And that's the story of art therapy session, which was provoked by another event. And it's a very interesting story that provoked a very interesting painting. So, stroke or stress do not define the story. The brush does. The space does. With each stroke and sprout, survivors rewrite their narrative from fear to possibility, from impossibility to color. The stroke or stress do not define your story. Whether you're healing, supporting, or living, let creativity and nature into your life. And let's enjoy something of your past and life. One brush stroke, one bloom at a time. You would ask me, is there a place for creativity and happiness around that? Yes, there is a unique project already started in Bankia. It's led by the Association for Stroke and Aphasia, which I founded in 2020. It's an accessible, creative place where people will be soon available, and people will be able to practice art therapy and therapeutic gardening. We invite all therapists, all musicians, artists, people like you, to share love, laughter, life after stroke forum needs to be a place to share beautiful ideas and, of course, brush away stress and paint happiness. There's a little video which we produced to talk to all the world about art therapy and our small example here in Bulgaria and our success story. And that's a video which I suppose you will enjoy. Thank you very much.
Strategy and full program are created and tailor-made for each individual. One of the main goals of our association of Stroke and Aphasia Bulgaria is to define how to make this therapy more affordable for most stroke survivors who may benefit from it. We also plan to expand our therapy services covering the unique needs of caregivers and family members of stroke survivors. Stroke survivors. Art-based therapies have the potential to reduce psychological severity of stroke